Want to say hi to Freedom? Hi, Freedom. Well, I wanted to join you on this Christmas Eve and tell you a little story while I wish it was by campfire. We're going to do with candlelight and twinkly lights. Let me see if it's falling off here. And I had an experience yesterday and I thought, this is the perfect Christmas story, or it really encapsulates what maybe Christmas should be about and what it's not. And so before we dive in, we're going to take a deep breath and I will see you on the other side. So me and Freedom are here in the tiny trailer, and while outside is all gloom and doom, I wanted to do something a little bit special. Let's see if I can get this to stay up there. I can't have live fire on my head, but I can do a little bit of twinkly lights. Thank you, Mom, for sending me these. And I just wanted to give you kind of a glimpse into what happened yesterday. I just think it really talks about what it means to have Christmas in community and relationship. And as many of you know, I'm in the process of trying to move, although who knows when that's going to happen. But one of the things I am trying to do is to make my horse trailer legal so that I can drive it out of here legally. And as most of you know, that trying to do anything with the DMV or any state or federal government agency is usually a nightmare. And it has been. And I've spent days and hours and hours and days. And I spent all day yesterday morning on hold. And in all this time, I've gotten different answers, contradictions, a lot of pushing me off to the next person, nobody really wanting to do their job, everybody turfing me. Well, it's not, I can't do it, you have to go here, and it's going to take months, and blah, blah, blah. So after I finally left my last message and did as much as I could do, I thought, well, we're having another big series of storms come in. I'm going to go get emergency supplies. And as you know, I live in a tiny town, and so we have a dollar store and we have a couple other little stores. And so the first store I went to, there was a woman in front of me as we were checking out, and she had a whole bunch of stuff, and she was paying with 3 cards, and she was bouncing around trying to pay. And I had that little tiny flip of and then I could see her. I looked and I could see her, and she was embarrassed and she was frustrated and she was on the verge of tears. And I said, it's really hard when you don't have money, especially around this time of year, and the expectations of around family. And she's like, yeah, my son or my grandson, I'm not sure which one it was, and what he wants, and it's just, I can't do it. And here she was, as I know, sometimes giving up food in order to provide something for a child who they don't really need and they think that they need to have, because we've created this culture that says Christmas is about stuff. And my first instinct was, I wish I could give her $100 to cover her the stuff, right, and take that edge off, because so many people have done that for me. You guys have done that for me. Family's done that for me. It's been a really interesting process, this dive into poverty, so to speak, and how blessed I've been that, when push comes to shove, it always has just been okay. And I know how good that feels when you can just take a breath, because it's like you're always holding your breath for the next thing to go wrong. And how I wish I could have done that for her. But when I thought about it a little bit more, I thought, I wish instead what I would give her, if I could, would be not being embarrassed, not feeling like you have to give in to the pressures of culture, of finally getting to a point where it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, and to understand the value of what is sacred and what is holy and how important we are and not our stuff. And it's like, I wish I could give her that gift, because that's what I've learned from this process is stop seeing myself the way other people see me, but at the same time feeling the blessings of them wanting to step in, of you guys wanting to step in. And so when I went to the next store, and I don't know if anybody from this town watches my video, so I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I have a couple of people who are extra nice to me when I go into the store, and they round down instead of rounding up, and they throw in a few things. Well, my candle went out, so I don't have to worry about Freedom burning the trailer down. And it would make life a lot easier. But they're really nice to me, and they don't say anything about it. They just give. They just do that extra little thing, and we don't talk about it, and we make jokes about some of it, but and some of their situations, aren't any better than mine. And how aggravated I was in the morning from my fabulous experience, with government employees. And I had said that to the First Lady. I mean, the only people who have money right now are the people who work in some kind of government job, local, state, federal, that kind of thing. And they can't get fired, right? And they're the only ones making a living wage. And they're nasty and they don't want to do their jobs. And here are these other people who are, working minimum wage and going above and beyond, and they're filled with kindness and caring, and that's what a little community does. And we're so focused, on consuming. We're focused on, survival, and we're focused on, all this stuff. But what is it that really matters? And that really pulled me out of my aggravation funk yesterday morning, because it just reminded me that this is what the holiday really is. It's sacred, it's holy, it's about how we can bless each other. It's about how we see each other, not how we want to be seen. And how, if we can just get that within ourselves, we can shift the world, right? And we only have to do it with ourselves. But it's what makes me love little towns. It's what makes me love the generosity and the charity within people, and how, the gift I wish I could give everybody, and I think everybody should have these kinds of experiences at least once, about how much power there is and peace when you can find within yourself the letting go of how other people see you, and just see the beauty in them and the gifts that they're giving you. And being able to return that in a way that has value and meaning. And that's just really awesome. And to me, that's what Christmas is. So I wanted to do sparkly lights. Are they still up here? Is my camera still running? Because this is the second time I've done this. I just wanted to tell you that little story, because to me, that is the story of Christmas. It is the innocence in the manger. It's not the stuff the kings brought. It is the little drummer boy. It is the animals. It is the keeper of the inn. It is the people who have the least that give the most. And I know when you're hungry and you're homeless, prayer, love, blessings, those things don't mean anything when you need shelter, when you need food, when you need to be warm. And that's just real. And I think that's what the beauty of small community is. You don't let that happen. People never used to let that happen. And I was listening to someone talk about visiting Eastern Europe, and they didn't have homelessness because they were talking about how their faith was so strong and their families were so strong. There were no homeless people. It was not a problem because you didn't let people hit the street. And how we're losing that. And we think it's about money, and we think it's about consumerism, and we think it's about what other people see in us on the outside instead of who we are on the inside. And to me, that is the blessing of Christmas. It's a chance to take a deep breath, to take a look around and see what's real. And while I love little tiny twinkly lights and gifts like that, the real beauty is in the relationship and the connection and the caring and the kindness. And so I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share that to the people of Mountain Air who really reach out, to you guys who really reach out, and to the people who work for the government. There's a good chance I'll be driving my trailer illegally. I actually drove this white trailer for the first 3 years without any kind of proper registration, and nobody ever pulled me over, so we'll see how that goes. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I and Freedom will see you next time.